Okay, welcome back. Before we get started, hit that like button and subscribe. All right, man, there's a lot of things going on. I hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. Um, let's just get right into it. I'm pretty sure some of y'all heard the situation that what happened in Canada. They had a massive internet outage. It affected their 911 lines. It affected their ATMs. It affected their airline registry. It affected a lot of things. It affected over 1 million customers. People had to go to the coffee shops to get internet service. You know, I mean, things were down. They don't know. I don't know if it was a cyber attack. I gotta maybe do some more digging. But as of today, they were saying that the service was restored. But this happened yesterday, and it was restored. Service start trickling in Saturday morning. So you got to ask yourself, what if a situation like that happened in your area, where you go to the grocery store and all you have is plastic on you, which is your credit card or your bank card. And you get there and all you see is cash only. That's why it's always good to have cash on hand. It affected some of the telephone service, the cell phone service. What if the cell phones go down? Do you have another way to communicate with your family? Do you have a landline inside of your house or your apartment or wherever you reside? Do you have a landline? See, stuff like this, man, I take it and I add it to my list, my little checklist, and say, you know what? I need that. I need this. I need to, matter of fact, let me go ahead and get that. I mean, Sri Lanka economy collapsed. The government it collapsed. You had mobs of people who stormed the president's palace. It is just a total mess in that area. I mean, it is. Here in America, crime is on the rise in some states. It is just out of control in some of these states, man. That's why you have to get out of those inner cities, man. Supreme Court just made a decision that New York citizens can purchase or open carry or conceal carry firearms. But you have the governor or the leaders of New York say, oh, not so fast. So they created a bill where you can't open or conceal carry in certain parts of New York. They even made it so where you got to turn in your social media accounts. So they have their oversight committee to look at the accounts and make sure you don't have nothing on there that they will consider you as a threat or a threat to yourself, that you're not saying things. So it is just a mess everywhere. If you're living in New York, Chicago, any of these inner cities where if there is crime and you can't have a concealed carry or have the means to protect yourself, your constitutional right, I suggest you pack up and it's time to go. Sitting up there gambling. All that crime going on in New York and Chicago, man, it's just a mess. I was looking at reading one news article, and what was it? 50 people shot. This was over the weekend. 50 people shot in Chicago. 12 passed away. This was in a 2-day span. 50 people. But yet and still they have some of the toughest gun laws in in that area. And you can't even have a gun in Chicago. You know? Man, it's time to get out. It is time to get out of those inner cities. Okay. The pawn shop. Some of the pawn shops are reporting that they are seeing a rise in sales. So you're having a lot of people coming in pawning their things, man. Inflation is on the rise, man. You go in some of these grocery stores or these fuel stations, man, some of these fuel stations for a loaf of bread, they went almost $5. I went into a Dollar General for a dozen of eggs. It was what, $3.89. So you're pushing that $4 mark. Depending on your area, probably it's already at $4. And it's just a mess, man. And Putin tells the Western nations, that he is just getting started with Ukraine. So he's digging in. You know, Biden already stated that Russia cannot win that war in Ukraine. So he's going to keep on sending millions, if not billions of dollars of supplies, money to Ukraine. So it is just a lot of things going on, man. It is just a mess. That's why if you have the means now, you need to get your supplies now. You need to continue prepping. Don't slack down. You know? Don't worry about them vacations right now. You know, that stuff is going to be there. I was just reading another news article that a lot of people who reserve these campsites with these RVs, they reserving these sites. They're paying for them, but guess what? They're not showing up because it's going to cost them more to do that camping than what they paid for. And how it's set up when you reserve those campsites, after a certain time, you can't get your money back. So you having a lot of these campsites checking the sites, and guess what? The sucker's empty. But when they look on their log, it says, whoa, we reserve. But nobody's camping because those gas prices are kicking in. So it's a lot going on, man. It's a lot, and it's not a time to be taking this for a joke. If you got family members, if you got friends that's living with you and they're not paying or helping you with those bills, I suggest you have a talk with them. If you have children that's old enough to work, I'm talking about in the teens, 17, 16, 18, 19, grown children in your house that's not doing their part or helping you with those bills, especially if you're a single parent. You need to have a serious talk with them. It's going to take a team to get through this. You know? While everybody else is just ignoring it, you need to stay focused and do what you got to do. You know? You go in these supermarkets and you look at the price of cereal, milk, lunch meat. I went into the store up the street and I'm looking for the lunch meat. They only have a selection. No more certain turkeys. You need smoked turkey and all that. It's gone. They took it off. You know? A lot of these different types of lunch meat is going to be out of stock in your area. So it's best to start prepping. I ain't saying go in there and start buying up a bunch of lunch meat. I'm talking about canned goods, ramen noodles. Get yourself a water filtration system. I just purchased more Berkey filters. These are black Berkey filters. You know, you may get into a situation where you can't find no more filters. That's why it's best to get the stuff now. If you're physical and you're healthy, try to get a side job. Try to do a side hustle. Legal hustle. You know, you want to jack yourself up for nobody's little quick scheme. You know, get a lawnmower, start cutting some grass. You know, don't worry about what other people think of you. You have to do what you have to do for your family. Put that pride stuff in your back pocket. You got to pay your bills. Everything is on the rise. Read another news article, they were talking about people paying almost $700 for these car payments. That's crazy. You talking about a house note. You know, that's what the teenagers and the people who come back home to live with mommy and daddy do. You know, they figure, okay, I'm shacking up with mom and dad now. I'm gonna go out and buy me a new car. You know, paying almost $1,000 for that car payment, but yet and still they won't contribute to those bills. You know, so you want to keep prepping, doing what you got to do to make sure your family is safe. Get the proper training if you need training. Get the supplies you need now. Don't wait until it's late to fix that furnace. You know, if you're in an area where you need firewood, you best to get to stepping. Start getting that firewood now. If you got a wood burning stove, start stocking up on that wood, propane. Get ready for the cold weather. You know, don't worry about that vacation trip. A lot of people not going to afford these vacations. A lot of things are going to be, I'm telling you, a lot of things are going to be, you're going to see a lot of vacation resorts slashing prices, trying to get you to go there. But now it's not the time. You got to make sure your house is in order. Make sure those bills are being paid. Make sure you have a support team. You do not want to have somebody in there that's able to work that's not helping you out. So you need to keep prepping, doing what you got to do. I'm telling you, man, you need to get the supplies now. If you haven't done so, get yourself a water filtration system. You know, Berkey is one of the best on the market. You need it. I just picked these filters up. So, man, I'm going to keep on prepping, doing what I got to do. Yeah, man. Continue to get supplies. Make sure I have the supplies. And keep doing what I'm doing. And I'm out. Hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching.